Well, let's just get to the latest, and this is in regard to the disruption we've seen over the last 3 days and protests that continued between day 2 and day 3. What can we expect today? Well, we did hear on social media platform, Malcolm Tagore there saying that they will be protesting today as well, and that's going to start at about 10:30 this morning. The opposition protests are demanding that discussion as far as the special intensive revision of electoral rolls in Bihar that continues basically to stall proceedings, and that is what we saw play out on the last 3 days. And of course, ruckus in the Parliament led to a complete washout of proceedings in both houses, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Out of the 2 days, we have seen protests being carried out. In order to know more on this, we have my colleague Aishwarya joining us. Aishwarya, take us through the demands of the opposition in this regard. And of course, again today we are expecting no different. And it has been 3 days of a lot of money that's been spent and no work that literally has come out, no outcome of the 3 days of the monsoon session.
Well, certainly it's the taxpayers' money, and a lot of money had been wasted as far as the disruptions are concerned in the Parliament. The opposition has been demanding that they want a discussion in the Parliament over the Bihar SIR row, but it is the government who had stated that there will be no discussion on the SIR row because this is a working of Election Commission of India, and it is not a party in the Parliament. If there is a discussion on such a matter, then who is going to respond on the entire debate is the big question that the government have asked to the opposition parties. The government has also stated that whatever demands the opposition had raised during the all-party meeting, be it on the discussion on income tax bill or the discussion on the aftermath of Pahalgam terror attack, the government has all admitted it and had defined as far as what sort of duration it would be. The government have stated that, of course, on Operation Sindoor, there will be discussion in the Lok Sabha starting from next week Monday. In the Rajya Sabha, it would be panning out for 16 hours starting from Tuesday next week. And certainly these demands are being fulfilled, and these are double standard. This is just to disrupt the Parliament and to continue the log jam that we are witnessing in both the houses. It is the opposition parties who are trying its best. It is the India bloc which had maintained it today and called NDA as the name deleting alliance, and today as well at 10:30 a.m. outside the Makardwar, the India bloc MPs would be protesting. This we have seen for yesterday and day before yesterday as well. All these MPs under the leadership of leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi had protested and demanding a discussion. The government had stated that whatever Election Commission of India is doing, it's under the constitutional rights, and this is a purification of voters. But the 52 lakh votes that have been deleted, it is the opposition which is continuously asking answers from the government.
Right. Thank you so much for getting us all those details. And of course, all eyes are basically on that discussion that's going to be taken up by, of course, in regard to the Operation Sindoor situation. And of course, that is going to continue for 16 hours starting on Monday. But what's really going to happen between today and tomorrow is the big question. Aishwarya, we will keep coming back to you for more on that. Stay with us for the next story. And this is coming out of Bihar as Tejasvi Yadav launched that scathing attack on the Election Commission and the NDA government. In fact, he's gone on to say that it's meaningless to have elections because basically what's really playing out here is that the Election Commission is taking its orders from the BJP, and in those circumstances this really makes no sense. He's in fact gone on to say that he might even discuss it with the allies of the Grand Alliance. He is talking about boycotting the coming assembly polls in the state of Bihar.
अब तक इलेक्शन कमिश्नर ने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं की है। लगातार सुप्रीम कोर्ट की सलाह के बाद भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं की। कई हमारे सवाल हैं, कई कंफ्यूजन लोगों में है, जिसको आकर के एड्रेस करना चाहिए था इलेक्शन कमीशन को, वो उन लोगों ने नहीं किया। मजबूरन हम लोगों को अदालत का सहारा लेना पड़ा। जब आप जो है चुनाव ईमानदारी से कराइएगा ही नहीं, जो बीजेपी वोटर लिस्ट देगी आप उसी वोटर लिस्ट पे आप चुनाव कराइएगा, तो चुनाव का क्या मतलब?
Aishwarya, of course, Tejasvi Yadav questioning the whole process and talking about how this is absolutely futile in the first place.
Well, the opposition lambasting at the government over the entire issue. It is leader opposition Rahul Gandhi who had termed it as a vote chori, and it was Rahul Gandhi who also stated in the past that they have done in Karnataka. He can show in black and white they have done certain research, and a voter addition was something that was seen in the state of Maharashtra, and this is a complete vote chori on the behalf of Bharatiya Janata Party. The Election Commission of India is working on the behest of the BJP. The opposition also stating that they are questioning the timing of it. How is it possible that just before the elections, in a short duration of time, such the lengthy entire process can be completed? They have to knock the doors of the Supreme Court, and it is just the data which has been released. There are multiple questions that they want to ask from the Election Commission of India, but the time is not being given. The leaders like Tejasvi Yadav to Rahul Gandhi to Akhilesh Yadav all had been repeatedly asking certain questions from the government. The Election Commission of India has been stating that it's under the constitutional rights, and purification of voters are very important to understand that how many voters are living in the state of Bihar, how many voters had been moved out of Bihar, and how many are authentic voters. The voters which had come from outside the state of Bihar, they had been living over there, including the Rohingyas, the Bangladeshi immigrants, the Nepalis as well, and all of these needs to be checked thoroughly before the election process starts. And what's wrong in it? It's under the constitutional provisions. So there have been counter attacks and attacks which had been leveled from both the opposition and the government over there in Bihar, but certainly it is the flashpoint that had emerged between them. Continue protest, just not in the parliament or outside the parliament, but also in the state of Bihar as well, and that we can expect today and tomorrow as well.
Right, let's just get in political analyst. We're talking about Sajan Kumar joining us as well. Thank you so much, Aishwarya, for getting us those details. Sajan Kumar, over to you. Tejasvi Yadav saying that there's just, he's gone on to say that earlier it was the electors who voted the government, and now it's the government that's electing the voters. And really, this is something which he has gone on to say is absolutely counterproductive.
Yes. There are a couple of shifts we see in the opposition's strategy in this matter. One, opposition has shifted from the EVM fraud to voter list fraud. So you do not hear about the EVM fraud. Now, voter list is something that has emerged as the main plank of opposition's attack on election commission. Two, when the process started in Bihar, since beginning, RJD, the prime opposition party, they have employed around 48 lakhs of their voters, to be a part of the process, to see what is happening. And hitherto, that process is continuing. So on the one hand, you see the prime opposition party is also participating in this ongoing SIR exercise. And on the other hand, along with the Congress, they are attacking it. So that makes it primarily a political plank. Three, yes. Are there inconveniences? Of course, there are inconveniences because of the paucity of the time, short duration of the time by the Election Commission, and that can be a matter of some criticism. But is it illegal? Is the framing of the debate as disenfranchising the voter, stealing the vote, etc.? These are all framing which is deeply problematic, because once you have made it sub judice, Supreme Court is hearing the matter, and from there you did not get any relief in that regard, then you are fighting it legally as well as you are politically attacking the Election Commission. So that primarily is a problematic thing. It is primarily a political plank by the opposition to constitute a perception, and that is quite valid, because election is just a couple of months away. In that moment, when opposition is trying to constitute a perception, to that extent it is understandable. But to say that a process which is inconvenient is also illegal and has certain unbona fide sort of intention is deeply problematic, because we find that opposition has been shifting its plank from AVM to voter list, and it may be the case that after a couple of years voter fraud list would be shelved and something else will emerge. So certainly inconvenience is accepted, it's disenfranchisement, that doesn't seem to be the case because inconvenience is affecting all the sections of Bihar.
Okay, a very quick answer, yes or no. Do you think there's enough time to carry out this exercise? Because, we did hear the JDU leader yesterday as well, Gidari Yadav, saying that there's just not enough time. This requires at least 6 months, and that's the kind of time that one doesn't really have on hand.
I think enough time and inconvenience both can go together. In this, because in the last 10-15 years, the way we have technology to process big data, conduct this physical exercise and then process it and come up with that, things have changed. We cannot take our clue from 2011 and something when we did not have this kind of technology, etc. So yes, there are enough time, even if it's causing inconvenience. So we are mixing the two. Anything that can be done is doable, is feasible, can create some inconvenience. And I heard about the statement of the MP from JDU. So he was pointing out about the kind of inconveniences that is happening. But to say that this is something which is completely unfeasible, undoable, I do not buy that argument. Yes, ideally there should have been more time for the sake of convenience, not for the sake of it is leaving out a section of the bona fide voters.